Alright, I was going to shoot a video here on my solar shower. So it's actually a solar and electric shower. It uses one of these flexible, scrunchy hoses. Folds up to about 10 feet long, so I just wrap it around a couple of times, 2.5 times I guess. And then it'll stretch out to, I think, 15 or 22 feet or something it said. At any rate, and then we're just using a regular sprayer for getting the water out of it. It's made from a 6-inch PVC pipe, and it holds, let me back up a little bit here, holds 5.8 gallons of water, and it's got a tire fill valve here to pressurize the system. And then I took one of the extra brew temperature gauges for the still, and I tapped a fitting in here on some pipe thread too, and installed that. So it's just a temperature probe that drops in about, I think, about 8 inches or so. And then on the top here, I've just tapped it and installed a pressure gauge so I know how much how much air I put in there. Seems to work really good at about 20 pounds, and I had it up at 30 when I did a pressure test, and honestly, I have no idea what this pipe is rated at. It was the green PVC sewer pipe they had, which was twice as thick as the white stuff. So I assume it'll do 30 pounds or more with no problem. But like I said, 20 pounds works fine. It's got just a screw on off filler cap right here. And let me back up here. And then I just have a couple of stainless clamps that hold it against the to the side of the roof rack, and then it's actually setting on top of the crossbars for all the load, and it seems to work excellent. And then on the front of it I have just a standard hardware store purchased thermostat relay for a hot water heater, just standard right off the shelf, like $8 or $9 at Lowe's. And then from Missouri Wind and Solar, I bought a dual element 12 volt heater element for a hot water tank that they sell. And it's got a couple of tabs where I've got them both hooked up and connected together. You can see across there, right there, and in there, the brass that you see. And but it can be a one element or two, and I've put it on two. And then what I've done is I've just come down and I've installed a plug here that you would use for doing jumper cables if you're going to permanently mount an end in the vehicle. And you just pull them apart. Well, I have to have two hands, but you just pull them apart, they disconnect. And then I just took a pair of jumper cables, and it's all soldered together, of course, and then I just on this, and I just took them up to the battery. And I don't even have a fuse on it, to be honest with you. And that's kind of where I'm at on it. It's a great way to take some lukewarm water and or cold stream water, whatever you want to pour into it. I actually have a siphoning kit that I forgot to even get out that I bought, and I can grab that right here. And this is a dual kit. I think I bought this off of Amazon, but it's got a squeeze ball on it, so you can start a siphon if you're going from an upper tank, like siphoning out of a car, and then you're going to drop down into a gas tank. You squeeze the ball, and there's a Y in here somewhere, right over there. You can follow that with that entanglement. Anyhow, you can get the siphon started, and then the check ball will lock or close off, and the siphon will go, but then the hand pump will actually allow you to pump fuel up. So if you had, a tank in the ground and you were trying to pull the fuel out of it and put it into a gas can, or water. I haven't decided. I'm thinking about buying another one, so I had one for water and gas. Never know what might happen one day, and you might need to borrow a little bit of fuel. But it's just walk around here, and just got it up on the rack here. Should have lowered it down so it's not so high. but I will just walk down and show you there's nothing to it. I found that the hardware stores don't sell 6-inch pipe, so I had to go to a place that sold sewer stuff. So we have a local place called Cuz Concrete, and they make septic tanks and stuff, and they sell pipe to contractors. And the 2 caps and 4 foot of pipe, which this is it's like a $50 bill. And then I had some monster cable left over from a car I took an amplifier out of, so I just used that, and yeah, it works very, very well. And it's nice to have a little warm water to wash your face, or if you just want to carry it for I'm going to use it as much for I've had it on there for a couple 2 or 3 weeks now, for cleaning fish or whatnot inside of the car. There's so many options. I mean, we're so used to not having water in a vehicle when we're out. As soon as you have it, I've been using it for everything. And yeah, it works really, really nice, and it's super inexpensive, and it doesn't have to have all this stuff on it. You can just paint a tube black. It'll run a few degrees warmer than the outside temperature as long as the sun's out, or obviously it's going to run the ambient temperature of whatever it is. But you know, so if you live in California and it's normally 75, 80, honestly, you wouldn't even have to paint it if you didn't want to. 105 degrees is super hot, and then I'm in Washington, so it rains. I mean, since October, we've actually gotten over 4 feet of rain, so it's horrible here. But then with this, you can just turn the screw and set the actual temperature on it, since you don't have cold water to mix into it. It's very important that you don't burn yourself. And normally these don't have a temperature gauge on them, let alone a pressure gauge. And I just did some YouTube video education, and came up with the idea. And so this, as you can see here, I'll slide it. This is actually a craft brew from craft beer brew from I think they're in Idaho or Montana. I think it's Idaho. Anyhow, they have some great prices, and the trick with this is this fitting has been welded or soldered on to the I don't even know what you call it, but the thermometer that sticks inside there. Because normally if you just use something that's got a temperature gauge on it, it'll run right down the seal when it goes under pressure and leak into the gauge or whatnot. So this is designed to, and it actually comes with an O-ring seal fitting, but I actually couldn't get the O-ring seal to work on the plastic. But it works fine like on stainless kegs and copper, because I've done that several times. And then the trick is, so you get all the water out of it, don't put your water valve on the end of the pipe, put it underneath, and use a boiler valve. And when you go to pick one out, you'll see what I mean. If you use a regular garden one, it points in the wrong direction. And I'm trying to think of how that works, and I can't. But when you get there, you put them